This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Strap yourself in
because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Good evening, Foxes fans. How the devil are we? Nice to have you along. It's Leicester Till I Die, and we're jumping on the bandwagon. We're going to do a Euro predictor. Everybody else has done, so I thought, hey, why not? Couple of things before we start. Should just remind everybody that we do support the hashtag Stop Online Abuse. There's no need for it at all in any language. And even if we're in the Euros, if you do it in Turkish, Swiss or Finnish, we still don't allow it. Mind you, probably wouldn't know what you said. One person who probably would know what we said is Mel. Good evening, Mel, our moderator in here this evening. She speaks 4 languages, so she can actually say Arsenal are rubbish in 4 languages. I actually toned that down as well, as she knows. And Daniel, our new mod. We have a Leicester City fan as a mod. Good evening, Daniel. Thanks for joining us, mate. Hope you're going to enjoy the show. And don't forget, guys, if you are watching this, you can catch us on Facebook, Leicester Till I Die, the group. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. It would be much appreciated. We're getting there slowly, a bit like me on a childless night with the missus. We got there, but it was very, very slow. And if you're watching us on Twitter at Leicester TID, you can find us there as well. And like I say, if you are watching on YouTube, there we go. Press all them buttons. If there's a button there, give it a press. I've heard that somewhere before. That must have been that night. Anyway, are you excited? Are you? Hey, the Euros tomorrow. This time tomorrow, we will be just seeing the teams announced. How excited are you? Do you get this excited? I've got to bring the girls in, haven't I? You know, I mean, otherwise Brad gets a little bit upset. He does like a quick show of the girls, does Brad? I think he'll probably kill me for saying that. I'm not sure if one of those is Mel or not, to be honest with you. Let's bring them in. I've got a couple of guys that are going to help me try and predict who's going to win the damn thing. Brad, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, it's about the closest I get to looking at a woman in that sense. So that one. So yeah, go on then. I'll take that one. 2 for
the price of 1. Buy 1, get 1 free. Excited? Yes, I get it.
Sorry. Yes. I'm 100% excited. I'm not. Yeah. Let's just go with that. Otherwise, I'll get kicked off the go straight off the bat. My
it might not be a full one, but it would be what I would call maybe a Leicester Southampton excited.
Yeah, sort of. It kind of bridges that gap. That was something decent, but you're not overly thrilled by the fixture.
I just thinking it was a semi as well, but there we go. Let's bring in quickly before he kills me. Scott, good evening, Scott.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Brad. You both okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, you look about as excited as Brad sounds. It's hard to get
definitely.
excited, isn't it?
I've got very little interest, to be honest. It's one of those that you fear the worst for the Euros, being an England fan, but we'll see.
Let me start, because we are going to go through the groups one by one and have a look at them and see where that takes us. Chelsea Fan TV, good evening. RC Bain, Chelsea Fan TV there. It's literally been 5 years since the last Euros. He's excited, you see. But then again, he is a Chelsea fan. They haven't got an awful lot to get excited about, have they? Just a small European Cup. We'll let them have that one. Rob, good evening. Nice to see you. Sod off. Thank you. I don't know what I said for that, but, nice to see you too, Rob. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to come to you first, Brad, with this, because Southgate is taking a lot of abuse. Now, we all know managers of any nature, of any team in any sport, will get abuse. We've had it with Puel, we've had it with Pleat down the line, we certainly had it with Taylor. The England manager is generally worse because, he doesn't pick a Leicester player who's fit. We all think he doesn't know his job. Same with the Man United fan or a Liverpool. We all want our own players in there. But this is the guy that a couple of years ago had us in the semi-finals of a World Cup. And at one point we were leading in that. The guy, he's no worse. In fact, he's done better than the likes of Capello, Ericsson. I can just go on and on. But I won't. I'll let you go.
Yeah, but no disrespect to the nations who we played. I think the thing that frustrates England fans the most is not only do England get very, very, very favourable qualifying groups that don't ever seem to have a difficult one. I believe the last time they had a certain Croatian nationality side in their group, they got dumped out of it with a Wally and a Brolly in charge, which just shows the level. England get through their group 9 times out of 10 flawlessly, don't they? And it gives us a sole misconception that we're amazing. We've got our SHIT together. When realistically, we're struggling to a 2-1 win over North Macedonia or in this tournament or someone like that. And realistically, when the manager caliber is a guy with a 100% record, 1 game, 1 win, 1 sacking in Big Sam, when Roy Hodgson puts Harry Kane on corners against Iceland FC and teams like that, you kind of get bored of seeing these managers come in and not have a clue what they're doing. Who picks 4 right backs? Who picks these players that aren't fit? And then the ones that... we just had a friendly, didn't we? And I think we saw 3, maybe 4 players that aren't even...
I've got to be totally honest with you. I didn't even watch that. It was like
I didn't.
But I wasn't watching it. But I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. And I can remember Roy Hodgson not even taking us out of the group stage at the World Cup in Brazil. But Scott, look at our FA Cup run. We played 3 lower division teams on the way to winning the FA Cup. Does that, make our, achievement any the less? The fact that we got to the semi-finals, doesn't matter who we played. You can only play who's in front of you at the end of the day. We still got to the semi-finals and we're sort of, not that far off getting into the final.
Yeah, but I think you've got to look at the different concept of it. With Southgate, he's got an abundance of players in which he can actually choose from. And like Brad was saying, when you've got, 4 or 5 right backs that he's gone and put into the squad, I'm not trying to be funny, but there was other players that he could have took to the Euros that would have helped fill better positions. So in that, in our achievement, you can only play the squad that's in front of you. We haven't got this amplitude of players that you can just bring into the squad. But when you're the England manager and you've got so many players at your disposal, you would have thought that he'd looked at different avenues to bring in players to help strengthen the squad in other areas.
Yeah. Looking at that though, Brad, again, we know we've done, and Scott, we've done the shows here, and we've, we sometimes, I can remember when Nigel Pearson was manager, that first time when he got us back in the Premier League, you couldn't predict a Leicester team because of all the changes he was making. We do the same with at times with Brendan. We've not been able to guess who is going to play in certain positions. We've sat here and said, "Oh God, why has he bought quote Perez unquote on? What the hell is he playing?" So you've got that for the one team, but Brad, you've got the England manager who's got 22 teams fans saying you should have taken him, you should be playing him in that position. He surely, like anybody else, he can only be judged on results, and his results so far haven't been bad. And I'd sooner him lose and put a B team out in a friendly than in the competition itself.
Yeah, but again, it all folds back to the point of who they played. I mean, yes, England got to a semi-final, which they haven't achieved since God knows when.
80, I think it was.
Yeah. Right,
Scott might know more than me, but I think it was 80.
Yeah. And I get the comparison between Leicester's FA Cup run and England for that thing. Difference is, mate, we lost to Croatia. Leicester beat Manchester United. Leicester beat Chelsea. Leicester beat Brighton of the Premiership. Leicester beat Southampton of the Premiership. When these teams came up, there was at least 8 players that were guaranteed to be in that Leicester side. I couldn't name you a starting 11 for Southgate, because of the players he's taken. I couldn't name you a solid 7 or 8 starters that get in that squad, because he's got 97 left backs, 37 right backs, 13 different pairings for the back 4 goalkeepers, and a 22-year-old that would be a better prime minister and footballer joined together. At least with the Leicester squad, we knew what we were getting ourselves in for.
I've got to be honest with you here. Do you know what's really sort of eating away with me is that I don't disagree with you, but I've just got to put the other point of view across. But you guys, I can see totally 100% where you're coming from. I mean, Scott, Andy's just commented in. Good evening, Andy. Turfmore, I'm going to come to you in a minute. England will always be limited because of the large amount of foreign players in the Premier League. I mean, we've used that excuse for years and years and years, and we had the golden generation. Didn't make any difference. We've got enough players, English players, in that league, and I think had they not been injured, you'd have had Barnes and possibly even Justin in there. So if everybody's fit, we've got the English players, haven't we?
Yeah, I do believe we have. You've got the likes of Danny Ings that could have been within the squad, and well, there's an ample amount of players that have played Premier League level, and all across the world, sort of thing, that could have actually got into the England squad instead of, like Brad says, having loads of players in similar positions.
Yeah.
Instead of strengthening the whole squad itself.
No, as I say, I can't agree with you. Can I just say, Dan Turfmore House TV, get lost. It's his first time in as a mod, and he's insulting me already. These Northerners, I'll tell you, the thing I liked about the people in Burnley is, the marriage guidance council in Burnley is called Related. Anyway,
I'm probably still stuck in 1966 as well.
I tell you what, they didn't used to shut the back doors. The back doors were always open. God, a load of slags. Wow. The load of slags, I'll tell you. Dan, I love you really. I love you really. Brad, Andy here, Brad says you forgot the partridge in the pear tree. Just about.
Hey, it's on the reserves list, mate, for what it's worth.
Doug, welcome. Doug's on time. Not late this time. I had a word with your missus. She said your timing's getting better for her as well. Good evening, Dugout Channel. And Turfmore House, or as we like to call him, Ed Sheeran. Best thing in Burnley is the M65 on the way out. Yeah, the problem is, though, Dan, it goes to Colne and Nelson one way and Blackburn the other. Better off. You might as well stop in Burnley. Right. David Gamble, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Shall we throw ourselves into this then, lads, and see Now we've pulled poor old Gareth Southgate to bits, but yeah. So as I
everyone
say, I agree. I agree a lot of with what you said. Right, so here we go. Let's have a look then. So we're going to go through each group and we're going to see where we are going to put them and see who will go through, etc., etc. So. Group A, guys. Let's go to Scott first then. Who do you think is going to win Group A? We've got the little choice there: Switzerland, Turkey, Wales, and Italy.
I'm going to go for Italy.
I don't think you'd be far off there. What do you think, Brad? Would you agree?
I kind of want to throw a dark horse straight out there because there's something about that Italian side that I think would win it. But
Mancini's manager there now, isn't he?
Yeah, Roberto Mancini. We all love him at
Yeah.
Leicester. I think one of the only players that Leicester ever signed as a striker and didn't score any goals. I think he's got some silly daft thing about him at Leicester, but we liked him at his time there, and
It's 5 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I've got a shocker. I'm going to pull this shocker out for this group early. I'm going to say that Wales win this group.
Okay, I'm going to sit here, and I must admit,
I'm going to leave now. Where's the leave button? Quick, leave!
I'm going to say, obviously, if you two disagree, I have to sort of decide on between the pair of you. When you said that, I thought you were actually going to go for Switzerland as the dark horse.
No,
I didn't think you were going to go. I mean, that's not. I mean, going for Wales to win the group is not a dark horse, Brad. That's Shergar. It's dead and buried and pinned and feeding dogs somewhere.
I think the main consensus is a lot of people are saying it'll be Italy and then to watch out for Turkey. Obviously, we actually have got a Leicester player in that squad in Kaglar Soyuncu, who we know for ourselves defence. They're kind of like the team that everybody's looking at to do surprisingly well, not necessarily get far into the tournament, but to do well in terms of getting out the group and maybe getting past the first knockout round. But I honestly think that Wales and Italy will go for the draw, and I think it'll come down to how they do against the other two squads. I think it'll be close for who's first and second, but I think as the point might get brought up when we go to the England group, depending on where you finish, it might actually be better off for you to finish second in certain group scenarios and others. But I think Wales could actually top this group because, unlike the last time where they were expected to do it, they've kind of gone under the radar again this season. So that's why I'm going Wales to top the group.
Right. Melina, you got 3.5 hours to work. You should be getting on with your work. Typical teenager. Working and on the phone.
Girls to Chris's intros.
Okay, I've got to decide here between you, Scott and Brad. To me, Wales... I can't remember. They weren't in the World Cup. Well, it was the Euros last time when they did well, and they weren't expected to do well. I just don't know their manager, and I'm certainly not going to get into the wherefores and wows with what the Wales manager Ryan Giggs is accused of. But they haven't got their manager in there, so they have got a rookie manager. That said, that didn't do Tottenham any harm against us on the last day of the season, did it? No. But I've got to be honest, I'm sorry, Brad, I can't see past Italy. I am going to have to go for Italy at the top there. So, but you pushed me into making a choice straight away. You know, this is. I might just walk out. I do not. I've got you two in to decide. Scott, second. Who do you think for second?
I think I've got to go for Wales in what Brad's, not just what Brad says, but in my own opinion sort of thing. It's a case of the players and the quality that they have got, they should indirectly be able to comfortably get through this group stage. And it was like Brad says, there's only small amounts between the two teams on who was going to top it and who was going to come second.
Right. So you're going for Wales in second, are you?
Yes, I am.
Brad?
Well, I guess
you're not going to argue with that.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I had them first. The vote was taken out of my hands. It was given to the adjudicator, so I'll have them second in the group. I'm happy with that.
Oh, you see, I would have gone Switzerland personally, or possibly Turkey. But the fact I will put my hatred of anything non-English in international football to one side. But if you guys put anything Scotland higher than anything other than fourth, I will remove you from the chat. Just warning you in advance. Wales, I'll let you get away with. Scotland, no way. Sorry, any Scots that are watching, but gotta be honest, we hate each other, don't we? Scott, we're going for third then. Who's going to? Because, of course, so many, and I can't remember off the top of my head how many, but so many best third place teams go through.
I believe it's 4.
4 is right. Right.
And I'm going to go for Turkey for third.
Right. And Brad?
Yeah, I like I stated earlier with Turkey, I think they're one of them that people expect to get out the group and do surprisingly well. I've got them down as third and getting out on as like the best of the rest, I guess, as whatever they want to call it, for third place.
Yeah, and I guess that is going to put Switzerland there down into fourth. So we all getting excited because, of course, tomorrow, that's what kicks it off, is Group A. And we've got Turkey versus Italy at 8 o'clock. Are we all getting the beer out and getting comfy, kicking the dog out, or making sure you're walking before and watching it?
No.
I'll take that as a no. Now then, far be it, lads, for me to sort of question your choice here. But just to say, and we're looking at how the betting is for that group. But we've got here, and I'm using Sky Bet for this, so I'm going to use it all the way through. But they'd actually got Italy as top, Switzerland as second, 4-9 Italy, 9-2 Switzerland, 11-2 Turkey in third, and 9-1 Wales. So you might want to have a bet on Wales there, Brad.
I tell you what, I might just do that if I can get some funds together. I might just back that for myself.
You're not convincing me, but there we go. It is quite interesting, the fact they say that you had Wales and Switzerland completely the opposite ways round. Now then, is Turf Moore, you're coming before your wife again here, aren't you? Because you're already putting your choice up there. He's gone Denmark, Belgium, Russia, and Finland. So let's start with Brad this time. What we're going to go for, brothers?
I think this comes down to head-to-head record. I think this is it's just a tougher group than it looks, but I think the positions are going to be there and thereabouts with most people's consensus. I think head-to-head, I think Belgium take this one. I think they've just got a bit more about them overall, and I think they take Denmark to pit them to first place. So, yeah, Belgium for me take first place.
And Scott, sorry, I've jumped ahead there.
No, I totally agree. I can't see anything past Belgium going top in the group.
I think this is, again, this has been their golden generation, and we never thought that Martinez would have been able to do this with the national team, but all credit to him. He's got some fantastic players, and he's getting a tune out of them. Dan, just hang on, keep calm down, don't get excited. You'll be in Group F by the time we finish this. This is their chance, though, isn't it, Scott? I have a feeling that if they don't do it this time, they might not.
I don't know. I mean, when you look at some of the players that they've got at the minute, they've still got quite a young squad, and you know, the players that they have got are so gifted and so talented. That is this, to me, I'm thinking, is this like a stepping stone for the World Cup? Is that going to be their goal?
Well, they got to third in the last one, didn't they? Brad, we'll come back to you now. We're going to jump this one and do this one a little bit differently here. Let's go for who you think will come at bottom of this group.
Russia. I think they had a little bit of spark in when they hosted the World Cup.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was, but they're not actually really that brilliant aside. They're an ugly nation. No one likes them. They're full of racists and everything. Get them sent home. Get them fourth. Don't even want them contemplating the next round.
This isn't live, don't worry. We'll cut all this out.
I'm sorry, just
those are the thoughts of Brad Perkis here, not the thoughts of
Leicester. This is unassociated with the group. This is my personal opinion on Russian as a football team and a nation. Get them in fourth. Stick them forward.
Okay, I wasn't expecting any of that. I'm going to be honest with you. Brad, Scott, you sound gone now. Scott, who have you got bottom?
I've got Finland bottom.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I've got Finland as bottom, to be honest with you. And sorry to disagree. I totally take your point there, Brad, is the fact that we know what, being on home soil does for you. 1966 and all that, but they're not a brilliant side. But I just think they've got more than Finland, and I can see Finland being the whipping boys of this group. Unfortunately,
yes. We said that about Greece. We said that about Iceland. That's all I'm saying. But
don't remind me about Iceland. But yeah, I do my shopping there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Then can we at least all agree that we put Russia third on like 1 point, so they don't get out of that. So if Russia aren't guaranteed to be out that way, they can be guaranteed by not being third and one of the better.
Well, let's ask Scott. Where would you put Russia, Scott? Sorry, where would you put Russia there? Yeah, where would you put Russia? Sorry.
Yeah, I would put them there, to be honest.
Again, I'm
now, Scott. You passed the test. Well done.
Yeah, he's one of us now, and of course that leaves Casper and the Danes in second. So looking there, we've got Belgium, Denmark, Russia, Finland in that order. Like I say, I do take where you're coming from, Brad, but I think Russia, even if it is just a point that they got a draw, I just think that Finland are going to be the whipping boys. And Sky Bet, totally agree with you there. Finland are out at 18-1 to win the group. Belgium 4-5 favourites. Let's just see what people are saying about Group B. RC Bayan and thank you for joining us. Denmark are my dark horses. Well, that's a good shout, actually. Daniel, I'm backing Belgium to win it, but I hope it's England. To be honest with you, I didn't think many England fans would be disappointed if it was Belgium, because we've got half the team less the players anyway. As we are going live, they are anyway. Denmark have a fantastic goalkeeper. We agree with that, don't we, lads?
Yeah, definitely.
Daniel, I predicted the Belgium versus England final. This is Ankit again. Just saying, France are too good. Well, we will see. We will see. Dan has got Denmark to win the group, then show a big moment to Lord Bentner. And Andy says, I'm sure Putin will have something to say about that. It's probably got the... depending where that games are being played for that group, he might have the army on standby.
Yeah. I'm just checking because only knocking at my door and my camera goes off. Just take me backstage. It's innocent politics. There's nothing wrong with Putin at all.
It's not Putin knocking at your door.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I know the CIA watch this. I'm not sure about the Russian bit. Craig, good evening, Craig. Turkey are his dark horses. Well, I told recently it was horses that you were probably eating instead of turkey, wasn't it? But there we go. And Daniel, you can't rule out the French. For me, the French are up there with Scotland. But I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Right, I'll leave that to Brad. Right, so we're all agreeing on that, and I say the bookmakers agree with us at all. Right, let's go on to Group C. We'll start with Brad this time. We're going to start at the bottom, but let's work our way up to the top. That might get a little bit more excitement into it. I have a feeling... Actually, I don't have a feeling with you, Brad, at the moment, to be honest with you, because you've completely surprised me with a couple of your choices so far. But go on, who do you think is going to come forth in Group C?
Honestly, not for the same reasons that I put Russia there, but for the fact that they're not that brilliant a side and they actually have one or two standout players, I'm actually going to put the Ukraine there. And the reason being for it is North Macedonia, one of them sides that every tournament, they never qualify. It's like, remember when New Zealand were in, was it the World Cup, and they drew all the games but got knocked out? I just feel like this is their first tournament and they're not going to come bottom, but they're not going to do anything spectacular to get out the group. So I'm actually putting the Ukraine bottom of this group.
You're making the show exciting, Brad. I've got to thank you for that. Scott, a voice of reason here. What? Who are you going for?
Probably not who you think.
Oh,
I'm going to go with Austria for this.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you see, see, this is a tricky one. I actually think it's trickier than you think, Chris, to pick who's going to come bottom of this group, because Holland have a disastrous tournament, but even in this group, you'd expect them to be the ones that top it by being just better in stature than the other three. But the other three is really awkward. And like I said, you could see North Macedonia just causing a little bit of an upset. But that's why I've not put them bottom, because you always seem to get one in there. So go between Ukraine and Poland. I'm happy for you to pick Poland, Austria, and go with it, Chris.
Well, guys, is this Coke or is there some vodka in this that anybody's put in it? I'm not sure. It could be vodka, because I feel like I'm pissed off my head here with the teams you lot are coming up with. Right. Okay. So, well, I'm going to have to go for Austria. Never let it be said that I do not, that this isn't a democracy in here. I used to think it was a dictatorship, but you two guys are proving me wrong. Right, so you got Austria down in fourth. Brad in third. I'm not even going to try and guess who you're going for. Give up.
I think to be fair, for the two teams we both shouted out, me and Scott, I'd be happy to say that North Macedonia probably, this is where they finished third, and in their eyes they've had probably a decent tournament to not finish bottom of a group. And I'd say that they'd probably finish third. Whether they'd be in that 4 qualifying things, I doubt it, but I think they'd be looking to put themselves in with a shout by finishing third. So,
Scott, I did think you were the voice of reason, but you've blown that out the window just now.
I do like surprise every now and again.
Yeah. Who are you going to go for third? Are you going to agree with Brad?
I am going to agree with Brad. I think like Brad says, I think it's going to be that tight between the three, between Austria, North Macedonia, and both Ukraine. That it probably will be just draws that happen. And yeah,
probably whoever loses least to Holland, in fairness, what it should be.
Yeah,
shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch out for that there, Brad. You might just get that parcel delivered. It's Amazon at the door.
Right, I've moved address. Sorry, Amazon.
Okay, I guess from what you guys have just said, you're both going for Ukraine in second then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Holland have had some disastrous tournaments over the year, but they've kind of warranted an easier group in the sense that if you can't beat them, at least you should top this one. If not, I can tell you this now: if Netherlands come bottom of this group now, I'm predicting to come bottom every tournament thereafter.
Can I just say, talking of Holland, that the shirt that I'm wearing at the moment, because I've decided rather than wear a Leicester shirt today, I've gone for my favourite all-time ever England shirt, which was of course the 96 euros. Last night I was talking to Melina on Twitter, and on ITV4 they were replaying and I love it, I can watch it over and over again, the England-Holland game from Euro 96. And we still won 4-1. Holland. Yeah, that was the one you got, Holland. But classic game, classic shirt, classic times. Let's have a look what people are saying about this group. Dan, where have you gone? Netherlands, Austria, Ukraine, Macedonia. You see, that's closer to what I would have gone. Miss Melina, Turkey and Italy are her dark horses. Then she's an Arsenal fan, so what does she know about football? Sorry, Melina.
Oh, come on.
That was below the belt. It really was, but still funny. I thought. She's gonna go mad. She'll never talk to me again. And Kit, come on, the terrific Dutch. Please surprise us by winning the whole goddamn thing. You might be a Dutch fan there, Ankit, I think. Daniel, we've already said you're going to get poisoned by Russia there. Brad. Yes, Italy, I agree with for sure, but Ukraine have got legend managing them food for... Who's managing Ukraine?
Oh, isn't it Henrik Larsson's son? Or is it someone like that? Or is it it's someone like that who's either playing for them or it's Shevchenko's son? I've heard some names like that, but I might be
Craig mailing to rip it up for the Dutch and then sign for us. You're only saying that because you had him in the team the other night. Did I pick him? I think I did, actually. I think I agreed with you. Daniel, Netherlands, Austria, Ukraine, Macedonia. Melina's just got the Austria comment, the Arsenal comment, and she likes to call me my Sunday name when she's telling me off. My mother and my ex-wife used to call me that, and if it was ever Christopher, I knew I was in trouble. And here we go. Yeah, you were right there, Brad. Andrei Shevchenko's manages Ukraine.
Yeah, and I think Henrik Larsson's son or something else is involved, maybe the Swedish team or something. I know there's two icons of the game that are involved one way or another.
The reason I never bet is because I never make any money on betting, and that's probably because I always think the bookmakers have got it right. But for my four in there, I would have had Netherlands winning it, Ukraine second, Austria third, and North Macedonia fourth. But like I say, I go with you to like I say, gentlemen, but I'll leave that for people to decide for themselves. Macedonia, by the way, 22-1 to win the group. So
what
there we go.
You'd have to find out for me their general odds to get out the group in general, because it might be worth putting a quid on it.
Okay, do you want that? No, I have it now. Don't say I don't have the figures in front of me. I'm like for the odd stat, Brad. 5-2 North Macedonia to qualify to the group. Just to put that in context, Netherlands are 33-1 on, Ukraine 7-2 on, Austria 11-4, and Macedonia 5-2. So if you got a couple of quid, you'll get £5 back, mate.
That's not bad.
Right.
Not bad.
Here we go. Right, guys. I know this is the one that's going to cause all the fun, I think. We're going to start at the bottom again because I if you pardon the expression, I like starting at the bottom. And we're going to start with Scott. I think it is this time. Who've you got down in lowly fourth, Scott?
I've got the Czechs at the bottom.
Oh. And any reason for that?
Just looking at the other teams, it's going to be a really hard one to call on who actually goes through the group. But for me, it's the Czechs that'll actually be the ones that tend to leave early.
Okay. Remembering what I was said earlier about kicking you out the chat, Brad, who would you want to go for as coming bottom of this group? Starts with an S. Starts with an S here.
Or an E.
Can you just feel the pressure in there just to say a certain team's name? You know what? For all the hype and for all the mouth that some Scottish people remember they actually can qualify for competitions, I want them to finish bottom. I want them to get it done by a 90th minute goal that puts them from third to fourth. Put the Scots bottom. Go on, let's have it. Go on,
Do you know what, Scott? You're a wonderful human being. I think you will go far in this world. And you know what? When I was watching that game, and I always, like I say, I do watch the England-Holland game a lot if ever I find it. So it was on ITV4. I don't usually go that far down the channel list. Well, not since they got rid of, the adult channels. But I always think when Holland scored that one goal, did we let them because it knocked the Scots out? I was never 100% sure about that.
Yeah. It's one of them where, we normally have, England is famously hated by Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, and we tend to not really care too much about them when it comes to nations. When it comes to Scotland, I'm not all about this, I don't care about them, so they can go through. No, Sodom, shut them back up, get the bins out, Scotland, you're going home. Football might not be coming home, but Scotland's going home. Get them fourth, Chris, put them there, go on. I didn't get me Russell, man, let me have my Scottish celebration.
Again, I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I'm agreeing 100% with you. Good evening, Richard. Thanks for joining us. You've joined it at a good time. We're talking Scotland, Rich. Scott, do you not? Scott. We'll talk about Scotland to Scott. But do you know, I'm like with Brad, Scott, is the fact that if England don't get through, F the rest of them. I don't want them to get through either. It's not like all England are out. Let's all get behind Wales now. I can remember, was it America when the World Cup was in America the first time, and Jack Charlton was in charge of Northern Ireland, and there was only out of Era, and there was only Era out of all sort of the. Well, they're not part of the home nations, but none of the home nations went through, and like everybody was like, "We've got to support Republic of Ireland." And I'm thinking, why? Why do we have to?
They won't give a monkey's about us. They certainly don't.
To be honest, unless England's playing in a major tournament, that's the only team that I'll ever support. And as soon as they're out of it, I just tend to lose interest. I might watch the final. That'd be about it.
If anybody from Scotland is watching, do. Oh. Sorry, Scott. I know you didn't go for it, but I had to.
That's all right, mate.
Right. So, who do we start with? Brad, I think, didn't we? Or do we start with Scott? I can't remember who's going first in this one.
Scott started because he put the checks at the bottom.
He did indeed. He did. I guess from there you're going to put the checks third from bottom, Scott. Just out of interest, before you say, where did you have Scotland, Scott?
No, I'm not from Scotland. I'm purely.
No,
English.
where did you put them in the group?
I'd actually put them third.
Ah, okay. So I guess you put in Czech Republic fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to go back, because Rich has just come in. Rich wanted to know where we put Wales. Rich, nothing to do with me. And I think you'll be happy the fact that Wales are second in that group. And I have to say that was absolutely nothing to do with me at all, because I had them as fourth. So you've got to thank Brad and Scott, Rich says, where were you when I did my stream? I got so many pro-Scotland viewers. I'm sorry. And I'm another one of these. I'm not going to get political, but if they want independence, let them bugger off and have independence, So you are going for...
Czech Republic.
For third for the Czech Republic. Yeah. Brad?
Yeah.
I am slowly turning this chat into Newsnight here, aren't I? So let's get the Czech Republic in third. Now then, let's have a drum roll, as close as I've got to a drum roll. We seem to be getting them a lot just recently, don't we? Croatia and England. Scott, and it's you first. Who are you going to put second and who are you going to put first?
I think this is going to come tactically. And for that, I'm going to go England second.
Oh.
No, I think it makes perfect sense what Scott's just said there. They did exactly the same in the last time, didn't they? Where they, I remember putting out a tweet saying... on Facebook about when England were playing in their group game and they ended up dropping down to second. It was like a fight for second, not a fight for first, because we had the easier group. I think it's ridiculous, the group of death that we'll get to at the end, of how it's worked out, but it's the only time I've ever seen the tournament where finish first, you get punished for it. So I think you're right. I think if England are in a situation where anything other than worse than Scotland or Czech Republic will get them second place, they'll take it. I'm happy to put England second and Croatia top.
So the bronze plumber, I put my teeth in, cleaned them this morning, can't do a thing with them. The bronze plumber has gone England, Croatia, Czech, Scotland, which is probably what I would have gone for there, Bronzy. Daniel Harrison has gone Croatia, England, Czechoslovakia, Scotland. Pretty much what you guys are saying. Rich, I think quite happy that we put Wales through for him, has gone England to win the group. Andy, I think you got this the wrong way around, Andy, unless you again are from north of the border. Scotland, Czech Republic, Croatia, England. I think you're starting at fourth there. I really do. Otherwise, I'm a bit worried about you. RC and Kit here, sorry. Who's going to score the goals for Croatia, though? Best midfield, I'd say. But Rebic isn't a world beater in scoring many. They've still got somebody called Cranrich, haven't they, guys?
I believe so. That's his nationality. He's been scoring goals for them, so they've got players available to him. Yeah. And like Scott said, I think England will do this in traditional, boring English fashion. They'll play the tactic in the numbers game to get second place. I don't see us losing to Scotland. I think we'll probably sneak a drab 1-0 win against Czechs, and then we'll have already lost or drawn with Croatia, so second place will be inevitable. I just think it's going to go like that for us.
And on our first game, of course, is Croatia. It's 2:00 on Sunday, and I will be round my son's, feeding my face and drinking, hopefully. And Kit... Cheers, Ankit. As long as England don't play 3 right backs in the 11, they should go top. Guys, we did mention this at the start, but does anybody remember? I think it was Martin Allen was manager, and we had in a squad of about, well, let's say 20, because he was just buying players for. He was like a kid in a candy store, wasn't he? And I think we had about. At the 20, about 12 left-sided midfielders in there. He kind of maybe he's advising Gareth. Who knows?
Yeah, I definitely sadly remember that era of him and Megson coming in. God, that was
right. Well, here we go for the betting for that. England were favourites, believe it or not. Croatia second, Czech Republic third, and Scotland 12-1 bottom of the group. In fact, you can get Scotland as 6-5 to actually get out of the group. So good luck with that. England are 33-1 on to get out of the group. So I won't be that confident, to be honest with you. Right, Brad, we're getting there. Group E. Poland, Spain, Sweden, and Slovakia. Who have you got coming bottom of the pile?
This one's a bit more predictable for me. I've gone with Slovakia finishing bottom.
Yeah,
I don't know too much about them as a nation. The only player that I think I remember that stands out is Hamsik, and he's like 34, 35. Been playing in the Chinese league. There's not too many names that spring to mind. I've got them bottom.
I hope he has his inoculations if he's been playing in China. Scott, would you agree with that?
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, I think this is probably, out of all the 6 groups, probably going to be the easiest one to call. That said, Brad, back to you. I guess I know who you're going to put as top, but who is going to be your third place one?
You know what? When I
you're going to spring a surprise, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I would have had a surprise to a degree. When I heard that Zlatan Ibrahimovic was coming out of retirement at age 40, I saw the headlines. Zlatan wins Euros, claims Zlatan. You know, like, because Zlatan's ego does it all himself, sort of thing. He's injured. He's not going, and I just don't think there's enough horsepower in that Swedish side right now to to challenge to finish first or second in the group. I think these are one of the teams that will limp to third and qualify as one. They'll probably qualify as the fourth best loser. I've got Sweden for third.
Yeah. Not surprised me then, Scott.
No, I'm not going to surprise you either. I'm going to agree with Brad and go with Sweden.
Yeah, it is a case, I think, of no team is a one-man team, but Sweden pretty much come close to that, don't they?
Yeah, they do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They're a bit littered with these over the years, haven't they? They've always been one like that.
Yeah. Brad, sticking with you then, we're looking at, and I as I say, not a betting man, but I think I know the way you're going to go with this. First and second.
Spain are always a bit iffy in the group. They're kind of the old diamond race these days, aren't they? They've still got their good quality players. I don't know. Something just screams like they'll get through, but they'll kind of have an off game against Poland, and that's where the group will change. I'm actually going Spain to finish second, in my personal opinion. I think they'll get through easily, but it'll just be the shock result will be the thing that deters them from topping the group. And again, I don't know who they play if they top the group or come second.
Well, we might find out if Scott agrees with you later who they come up against, because it will work that out for us. Scott, go on then.
Yeah, I'm a bit like Brad in this. It's one of those where Spain is a team that tend to sort of get through the group stages and then the wheels start to turn then, and they start going up the gears. So with that, I think I'm going to say that Spain will come second.
Guys, you've got I don't know about the vodka. I think I've been smoking something, but you know. And if I've not, I think you two have. Good God. Okay. Well, again, I will go with you two. Far be it from me to not agree with you. I would have gone the same as the bookies again, which Spain are 2-5 on to win the group, and then Poland and Sweden are both 5-1, but they've got Poland as second. Sweden possibly is one of the better qualifiers, and Slovakia 14-1, bless them. Daniel here has gone for Spain, Sweden, Poland, Slovakia, and Andy, if I can bring him up. Yeah, oops, he was there. Yeah, Sweden third. That will upset IKEA. I believe, though, IKEA actually have made the goalpost. So if a ball hits the goalpost, it might just collapse.
Yeah, and it'll take the Swedish about an hour to assemble it with their instructions. So.
Yeah, the referee will be there on the pitch, with a bit of paper going like, I'm not sure which one. I think you've got the crossbar going up on the there's the post there. But okay. The group of death, as they've been calling it, and thank God we avoided this in a way. But who's I've forgotten whose turn it is to go 3 now. I'm thinking of the old IKEA plans.
It's Scott's go.
Oh, is it Scott? You drew the short straw, Scott. Sorry, mate. The bookies are having difficulty calling this one. I'm not going to lie to you, but there's one obvious place. I think you might go for this one. As much as you've been smoking and I've been drinking, I think we're going to start at the bottom. Yeah, and I think I don't know this tonight with you two. Who are you going to go for, Scott?
I'm going to go with Hungary for the bottom.
Fine. For once, you haven't surprised me. Brad, are you going to not make my heart rate go up as well?
Now, as much as I'd like to put in a Greece or another fairy tale like that, unfortunately, Hungary have just come into it, celebrated it, and got told they're the punching bag of the group, haven't they? They're going to come bottom, of course.
Yeah, they have, unfortunately. Yeah, there we go.
I say I'm more gutted that Hungary will come bottom of their group than I ever will be for Scotland. I feel more sympathy for them if they come bottom than I ever will for Scotland. So,
oh God, yes, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean the only thing that could be better than us beating Scotland and Scotland coming bottom would be to have Scotland to have been in that group with Portugal, France, and Germany. That would have been that would have been a fun watch. Excuse me, guys. Right, Scott. Now then, here's where it's going to get interesting. And can I just say, please agree, guys, because I wouldn't like to choose between these three. Who have you got in third, Sir Scott?
This is a difficult one for me. I know who I've got winning the group, but I'm gonna go for Germany to come third.
Go on, we can get that secured in because I was going to put them third as well, mate, for the same reasons I haven't got Spain top in the group. Sorry, I just thought I'd make Chris's day by saying we're probably going to agree on this one then.
No. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm like a sharp intake of breath, as the TV program was called. But yeah, it's easy for me because then I don't have to make the decision. I've got to be honest with you. Yeah, I can't say that I am surprised because, excuse me, at the end of the day, it is going to be such a tight group. And we'll, when I tell you what the odds are in a minute, you'll see it is the proverbial Donald Duck bottom, so to speak. So Germany in third probably would go through as well, I don't know, might not go through as one of the best third places with that group. Scott, then, who have you got coming second?
I'm gonna go with Portugal.
Right. Is Ronaldo? Is he still in it? I don't know whether is he still being picked for Portugal. I guess he is.
I don't know, but they've still got the
I
like
think Ronaldo with one leg and half an eye could still get picked for Portugal. The way they love him, don't they?
Well, to be honest with you, they'd have him on just so he could get a penalty, or somebody sent off. Did I say that out loud? So Scott's gone for Portugal second. Bradders.
You could flip a coin, couldn't you, and call it for first or second in this group. I mean, Portugal, over the past few years, have probably been more heavily reliant on Ronaldo to be the golden man that takes them to it, and he hasn't always lived up to the hype that we've seen over the last few years. It's poor to Wolves. Wolves fans will tell you how good Portuguese players are. And obviously, we've all suffered Bruno Fernandes throughout this season, tearing the Premier League apart, and whether you like him or not, he's been great. There's just something about France, and you'll find that out when it comes to the later rounds when we get predicting them. Whilst I'm going to agree with Scott, I think this is the hardest one to call for obvious reasons, but I think it's more harder to call first and second. I'm going to go Portugal second, and obviously that leaves France top in the group.
That does for both of you, yes. As Rich just said, then group of death for Hungary. I'd
love it if they somehow popped it, wouldn't it? It'd be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, you'd love, yeah. It's always good to see a big team going out. It's usually England, though, isn't it? Rich has gone France, Portugal, Germany, Hungary. He totally agrees with you. Daniel totally agrees with you as well. France, Portugal, Germany, Hungary. And Ankit says N'Golo Kante to get Ballon d'Or, so France top. Well, you won't. I don't think you get much argument off Leicester fans about N'Golo Kante, I'll tell you. So, Sky Sports, just on the betting side, did have France to win it. Did have Hungary as 25-1 outsiders, and I'm surprised they're not bigger ones, But Germany and France were both 6-4, so the bookies couldn't split them. And Portugal in third at 11-4, but it's so close. Like I say, you couldn't get and that's ball sat between them, could you? There really, but it is a group, as you say, the group of death, and probably the one group that I would actually, other than England, that I would actually look forward to watching the games. Andy says, "Can I ask if we win our group, do we possibly play?" Well, we're going to go on to that in a second.
In group or death. We get second in the group or death. It's not really a spoil. It's something that's been flashed around the media quite a lot.
Yeah.
If you win our group, you get the second place of Group F.
Yeah. Look out for Croatia and see who they get, because that will tell you. Yeah. Right. So, guys, we've now got to go for the 4 best third-placed teams. So thinking of the groups that you've just picked, and we'll just run through them again there. So Group A was, I don't know if you remember this or want to note it down. So you went Italy, Wales, Turkey, Switzerland. We're going from the top this time. Group B, Belgium, Denmark, Russia, Finland. Group C, Netherlands, Ukraine, Netherlands. Holland, we'll just call them Holland. Ukraine. It's like if you watch the Eurovision Song Contest, we're not the, all these different names. And North Macedonia. I mean, has anybody ever asked what's happened to East, West, and South? Because I think it's very unfair that they don't ever get a look in or have got their own national teams. But that's probably just me. I think it is. So Netherlands, Ukraine, North Macedonia, and Austria for C. For D, Croatia, England second. Czech Republic, Scotland a fourth. Group E, Poland, Spain, Sweden, Slovakia. And Group F, France, Portugal, Germany, Hungary. And I say I don't apologise to any Scots. Basically, we just don't like you, so that's why you're not getting.
I'm sure the
Scottish
have us bottom of the group if they can have it their way. So there's no reason I'm putting them anywhere.
I'm sure if they were being honest, yes, they probably would be, or in their dream world. So those are the groups, guys. So we've got to pick 4 from 6. So, Brad. Pick what we do is Brad pick one, and then we'll see whether Scott agrees with you or not.
I think I'm going to get the easiest one out of the way. I think it's going to be Germany.
Yeah,
I think
Scott,
Germany.
Would you go with that?
I'm surprised you said it's easy, to be honest, Brad.
I just think they'll all pick up a point against each other in the likes of Port. They'll pick up 4 points whoever finishes third in that group. And because we've gone with Germany, I just feel like that's going to be enough to get them through.
Go on then. I'll take that. I'll go with Germany as well.
Okay, so we're going to go with Germany. Right, Scott, you go first this time. Who's going to be your second one?
I'm going to go with Turkey.
Turkey. Okay. And Brad, do you agree with Turkey?
Yeah.
Or is Scott gobbling up the wrong tree?
No. I was quite vocal in putting Turkey as probably one of the surprise packages in this group. So I'd say they'd get through on that group as one of the teams that qualify in third spot.
Okay. So we've got Germany and we have got Turkey. Brad, it's back to you for your third choice.
There's one team I definitely don't want in here to go through. There's
North
one team
Macedonia.
that's one team I'd love to go through just for the fairy tale.
Yeah.
But I think, in honesty, I did say I think they'd somehow drab their way through, and I'd have to say out of that outfit, I'd say the strongest looking side in their group. And who they're against in their group, I'd say probably Sweden, just maybe edge it with what's left. As long as it's not a certain nation, I'm really not. It's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it? Because you'd imagine if they're finishing third in the group, it's going to be 3 sort of points that they're hitting to get through. So I mean Sweden, but I'd take being proven wrong on a vote.
Scott.
I'm going to agree with Brad on this. I'm going to go for Sweden on that.
Okay, so we are down to Russia, North Macedonia, and Czech Republic. We'll start with
Macedonia.
Let's be realistic. But then again, we wouldn't have picked Leicester. If we've been realistic, we wouldn't have picked Leicester to win the FA Cup. But in our hearts, we would have picked them, But no, go on, Scott. Because this could be another me wanting Scotland bottom here, couldn't it? So it's all down to Scott.
I'm a bit iffy on this because with the teams that we've got left and what groups that they're in, it's a case of who can you see getting enough points in that group. Can't see Russia. Cannot see Russia getting to 1 points. So then that leaves me between Czech Republic and North Macedonia, and still looking back at the group sort of thing.
I'm such a
I
child.
think I'm going to agree with Brad, and I'm going to go North Macedonia.
They're gonna win it, lads. They're gonna win it. Come on.
So the Czech Republic are with England and Croatia, obviously, and Scotland. North Macedonia have got, I think, a tougher job for them: Austria, Ukraine, and Netherlands. But yeah, so you are going for North Macedonia, Scott.
Yeah.
You've lit another one up, haven't you? You have lit another one up. No need to ask who you're going for, Brad, really, is there?
Yeah, North Macedonia. They're gonna win it. Come on, get them in.
Can I say I can of course use my card here and throw you both off and pick somebody myself, but I've got to just in advance, Brad. If North Macedonia come up against, let's say, Holland in one of the games, are you still going to go for North Macedonia?
No, that'll be where the journey ends. I think. It's just something about them. I think it's just because it's their third tournament, and we are very humble at being underdogs, and we know what it's like to be underdogs and written up. And I just want to see one team like that get through. That's why I'm so for the Macedonia parade. If they get Holland or Germany or whoever they get in the next round, they're most likely going to get voted out. So.
Yeah. Well, can you hear that, Brad? That's Putin at your door, so you better go and put the bolt on.
Oh, well, I'm stuffed. It was nice being on the show. If I'm alive afterwards, I'll see you next time.
Daniel went for Turkey, Sweden, Germany, Czech Republic. And in fairness, Daniel, that's who I would have gone for. Ankit here has gone for Germany, Turkey, Sweden, and Russia.
He's gone Russia. Get him out.
Ankit might be in the what's the I can't think what the Russian Secret Service is called.
I don't want to know either. I don't know.
No. Whatever they're called, Ankit might be in their pay. Andy's saying here the only thing they'll win is the Eurovision. I'm not sure who that is referring to. Probably England, and we couldn't win that, could we? Let's be honest with you. But right, so there we go. Let's have a look at where that takes us. So the round of 16, guys. We've got, and we'll obviously go through this, but just to run through it: Belgium against Sweden, Italy against the Ukraine, France, Turkey, England, Spain. Oof. Oh. Look what you've done, guys. Look what you have done. Poland, North Macedonia. Look, I'll give them a cheer. Every time I mention them, Brad, I want to hear a cheer.
Extra time winner by North Macedonia.
Croatia, Portugal. That's another tough one. Netherlands, Germany. A third one. Wales, Denmark. Wow. Okay, so can I just say, you put, mind you, in fairness, if we hadn't got Spain, we would have got Portugal, wouldn't we? So, it wouldn't have been any better had we won the group, really.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well.
Who was third in our group? Did we put our third place one through?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We left the Czechs at home.
And who did we? Oh, I'm sorry, I have no idea who they would have played then. Never mind. Okay, so guys, let's just take a quick look at the odds. But I tell you what, we'll have a break first. We are just going to have a quick 10-second break, and we will be back after these. And I played that one there especially for Gareth Southgate, because he'll probably have Dumbo up front, and he'll have Goofy at right back, and Pluto centre
like
midfield.
Cricket, don't he?
Hey, you might even say that if you think England are going to win, you might be having... which is obviously the DreamWorks logo, just in case you were wondering. So, guys, France are favourites to win the whole caboodle. Kind of get that. England second, 11-2. France 9-2. Would you have England a second? I wouldn't. Or is that just British bookies as they normally do?
That's British
Yeah,
bookies. Gotta be.
Definitely.
Excuse me. Rich
Tell you what,
has
certainly
gone. He
not
thinks
Scottish
Belgium.
bookies.
Belgium are third favourites, Rich, at 6-1. So
Aren't they
Yeah.
number one ranked side in the world? It's a bit. I think it's a bit disrespectful not to have them up as in the top two.
let's have a look, shall we? Are we looking in Europe or the world?
I believe they're number one ranked in the world. I could be wrong, but I've seen a lot of things. People saying that Belgium are number one this, number one that.
I can't spell ranking either, and it wasn't the. It was the N I missed
well,
out.
without
Not
knowing
the
that,
W. I didn't put a
absolutely.
W on there. Don't worry. Right at the moment, yeah. Belgium are number one. France are number two. So Brazil are third. Guess who's fourth, guys?
Scotland.
Don't you dare say England.
North Macedonia.
Yeah, North Macedonia, come on!
Actually, even sillier than that, England are fourth the best in the world. Above Portugal in fifth, Spain in sixth, Italy in seventh, Argentina in
How
eighth.
is our nation ranked better than the current holders of this tournament?
Denmark are 10th, Germany are 12th. My God.
Oh, for the love of
Switzerland
Christ.
13th, Croatia 14th, Wales 17th. Bloody hell. And Poland 21, Ukraine 24, Austria 23, just running through the teaser. But yeah, actually, if I'd said North Macedonia were fourth, you'd have probably believed that more, wouldn't you?
They've got more chance of being fourth than our national side. That's ridiculous bias towards England as a ranking side. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think somebody's been maybe posting some brown envelopes off to FIFA there, to be honest with you. But
whatever you think we're smoking and drinking with our predictions, mate, it's not got a sniff on the ranking system.
Well, I want to know, will you please send me some? I'll give you my address afterwards. So, moving on, round of 16, Belgium, Sweden. Let's see what happens when I do that. Sunday the 27th of 27th of June. First in Group B, plays third in Groups A, D, E, or F.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
I think if you're going to... Sorry, I just assume you start with me then, jumping in.
I'll start with you, Brad.
Yeah, you go
jumped
ahead, Brad.
in there. I won't interrupt you. You carry on.
I think Belgium kind of take this on a canter. Like I said earlier, I think Sweden are going to drab their way into this round, and I think Belgium will win this comfortably, probably 3-0 or something like this.
Scott?
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. I'm going to say that Belgium will go through on this.
Okay, so there we go then. Belgium. I nearly said Scotland then. Sorry, guys. Belgium are through. So the next game, I have been drinking, haven't I? Italy against Ukraine, which is first in Group A against the second in Group C. And we're going to have, are we going to have Italy or Ukraine, Scott?
I'm going to go with Italy.
Yeah, I think I would. Would you agree, Brad?
Yeah, that's pretty a given, really. I think Italy should get through this. I'd be very surprised. I think they'd be disappointed if it went anywhere past 90 minutes to beat them as well, actually, to be fair.
Yeah. So, this one, France-Turkey, it's first in Group F against third in Groups A, B, or C. They do make it complicated, don't they? You know, but which way you going, Scott?
Oh, I thought it was going to be Brad.
Is it Brad? Oh, go on then, Brad. Sorry.
I think this will be that game that everybody kind of holds the breath. I think Turkey will dig in deep. I think this will be one that maybe even goes extra time and gets people thinking that there's a chink in France's armour. But I think ultimately, I just can't look past France edging this one. I think it'll be one of them games that kind of people go, oh, well, if we turn up like Turkey did, we might beat them. But ultimately, I think France just come out on top.
Scott, would you have Soyuncu doing a Brazilian-like turn in the in our box, kicking the ball up forward, getting a corner, going up for it, and nodding the winner in the 89th minute?
It's one of those that, like what Brad says, I think with Turkey's defence, it's a case of, are they going to hold them off for a long period? And I do believe that France will go through on this, but I think it's going to be a lot tighter than what people believe. Will you get out? Come on.
France. So if you need to go at all, Scott, because of family, just let us know.
No, it's all right, mate. I'm okay.
Just say if you have to go at all, that's fine.
I will do.
Melina, I've got to say, Melina, you should be enjoying the Euros because, like as we said, I don't know if you heard it, this is the one competition that Arsenal won't do bad in, and that's only because they're not in it. Daniel.
Oh, no, come on. Behave you.
What?
I'll start calling you Christopher. And
And I'll mute
Jesus calls you by your first, when Jesus calls you by your first name, then you know you're in trouble.
Daniel has so far gone for Belgium. He's gone for Italy, and he's gone for France. So basically, he's agreed with you guys so far. Now then. Not wanting to sound too much like Jimmy Savile. Now then, England versus Spain. I think it's Scott first go this time.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
You
very
look so
split on
happy
this.
about that.
Yeah, I'm not. I really ain't. Don't get me wrong. I want England to do well, but I just think with the squad that they've got, this will prove whether we've got the men from the boys. And I'm gonna go with England,
Right.
and I know Brad's gonna go different.
Well, no, you notice from my pregnant pause there, the like, oh, the surprise in my voice there. But Brad, are you going to which way are you? The fence are you going to fall over on?
Normally, when England gets to this stage, you can dread a penalty shootout, but David De Gea hasn't saved a penalty since 2014, it feels like. He didn't do very successfully in the Euros, and if he's in goal for this one, England might play out for penalties because they know he can't save or take them.
Well, certainly, certainly if we get down to the goalies taking penalties, we'll do all right, won't we?
Yeah, and
I think Richard's gone, so we can get away with saying that.
Yeah, the thing is, this is one of them where, in the nicest way possible, I think out of all the possible teams that England could get by either topping their group or finishing second, Spain's probably on that side of the teeter where they're more beatable than the rest. They're quite aging, and yes, they're full packed of quality, Spain, and it's going to be a difficult game, but I can actually see England getting through this one. This will be that false dawn that England fans always get where they actually believe it. Like when we beat Colombia on penalties and we actually won a penalty shootout. I actually think England will edge this one and beat Spain.
Okay, so France, England. Brad, we're staying with you, and yeah,
and it's not Macedonia going through.
I think Jesus has been at the older communion wine, hasn't he?
They do some good wine over there. I get them the ingredients. It's all good. No, this will be one of the games where you could see another shot, but I don't like to keep pressing the same button with a team like this. I think this is one of them where the quality shows through. I think they'll have their moments, and you'll have a bit of nervy moments if you're supporting Poland through this. But the dream ends, unfortunately, North Macedonia. This is where the Greece journey ends for you, and Poland. No, of course I'm going North Macedonia, Chris. Come on, let's have them through in the next round.
Boo! It's one of those games, Scott. You could see England drawing North Macedonia, and then North Macedonia would go through, like another Iceland.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to cause an upset, or are you going to go for Poland? If you go for North Macedonia, you're leaving the decision to me. But You know, I know you wouldn't do that. So, are you going for Poland or North Macedonia?
No, unfortunately, Chris, I'm going to have to agree with Brad on this.
Yeah.
And I do think, in the end, even if it's down to penalties, I think Poland go through.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You'll have agreed. You've agreed on every game, and I just to say, had that one gone to the adjudicator, I would have actually gone for North Macedonia.
I'll change my mind. Come on, North Macedonia, get me and take about 4 quid.
No. I just think that would have been the shock, but then it wouldn't have continued past that. But you know, hey, you had your chance, Brad. You should have stuck with North Macedonia. Too, if they go on and win the bloody thing now and do the Greek one, I'm never having you on another show, Brad, because I never heard the end of it. Right, another couple of difficult ones coming there. Croatia, Portugal.
Oh, this one I get to have a respite after me North Macedonia fit just then and leave this one to Scott to decide.
Thanks for that.
Is it Scott? Sorry, you got to remind me who's going first. I'm still dazzled by Brad's North Macedonia fit. You know, I've got 999 on speed dial here.
Right. I'm going to go with Portugal.
Right, I can see why. Brad?
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the Portuguese side where you tend to forget what quality they've got in depth. You know, I know it's a Euros and not a World Cup, but when we normally talk about other sides that have certain one-star qualities, like Argentina, you always seem to see they always focus their talk around Messi. But unlike them sort of national sides, Portugal have great quality throughout, and I have to agree with Scott. I think Portugal put Croatia to the sword in this one.
Wow. Yeah. I'm just going to sit here with my feet up, I'll tell you. I really, really am. And I say Daniel agreed with you there with Portugal. He's already predicted for the next game, Netherlands, Germany.
Oh. Well, I'll take the start on this one because it's my turn because I don't want to decide the bottom one. So I've planned this out perfectly for you, Scott. It's just genius on my behalf.
Yeah, just that.
These two teams tend to shock you in a tournament. They tend to somehow find a way to either get all the way or they end up getting knocked out in a drab thing. I mean, did Germany just didn't even get out of the groups, did they? The last one, did they in the World Cup?
No, they didn't, did they?
And Netherlands, they tend to they've come bottom in one group. I think when they were in Spain, they had Spain in their group, they got battered, didn't they? Something like 5-1 or ridiculous. So this one probably goes all the.
Who is Germany's manager? Is it still the same?
I think it's Joachim Low. I'm not too sure. Someone might correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's him. The one that scratches his arse and then sniffs it.
That's the one. Yes, yeah.
So maybe he wipes his fingers under the Netherlands' face before penalties are taken and makes them delirious. I say Germany probably have to hold the nerve in a penalty shirt out and go for Germany in the shootout.
You'll go for Germany. Scott, is Frank de Boer in charge of Holland?
Now, remember what he did at Palace. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with Brad, to be honest. I think Germany is one of those, like Brad was saying about Portugal, they have got quality all over the field, and I just think that they will be able to get through to the next stage.
Right. Well, like I say, I'm just sat here with my feet up, you know, doing absolutely nothing here. I'm loving it. But Scott, Daniel went for the Netherlands there. He's already guessed this one, but we'll let you go first this time, Scott. Wales or Denmark?
I'm going to go with Denmark.
Well, if only for the goalkeeper.
Exactly.
Yes. So we're saying bye-bye Wales. Back to the Valleys boils. What about you, Brad?
Yeah. For all the hype that everybody knows that I gave them at the start, I think Wales are like one of them teams where they'll do something ridiculous in the group and they'll suddenly get talked about a lot. Then they'll come up against a side like Germany in the round, like Denmark, and and Denmark will make them come unstuck. I'm backing Denmark to win that game and face Germany in the quarters.
Okay, so we've got Germany, Denmark then. So let's have a. I mean, the thing with the Euros is because obviously there's less teams in there than there is in the World Cup at the moment. I know they're talking about expanding it, but immediately in that round of 16, where in the World Cup you will sometimes get, maybe a North Macedonia or something like that. You're unlikely to in the Euros because of the number of teams that are in it. So. Let's have a look. We've got, starting at the top here, Belgium, Italy, France to play England, Poland to play Portugal, and Germany to play Denmark. So, the quarterfinals. And I think it's you first, Brad, is it not?
I will take first off the host's word.
Can I just say, sorry, Rich, you said Wales, but I'm afraid they got beached. You see what I did there? Yeah, never mind. The guy wasn't. Hey, Rich, was nothing to do with me. I would have gone Wales, mate. But those two went Denmark, so I couldn't.
If it helps
argue.
Richfield, if it helps Richfield better, it wasn't done on bias because both Leicester keepers were playing in that game. Just saying.
Rich, I think Rich is a little bit upset with you guys. Rich, Wales. I would have put Wales through.
Yeah, he's saying that now. Go and check it. He was telling us before we came on to make sure you come bottom, Rich. You weren't having it with Wales.
I think you'll find that with Scotland. Hey, I wanted to put North Macedonia through. You guys cocked that one up as well, didn't you?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
You had your chance. You had your chance. Right, let's get back. We've got Belgium. We've got who've we got there?
Italy.
Belgium and Italy. That's it. Should have gone to Specsavers.
This is probably one of them games that if everybody could pick a perfect final, maybe a perfect underdog final more correct than the ideal final that everybody wants to see. This is one of them that's got absolute goal fest written all over it. It's got two teams that want to try and get a dominance of it, really get themselves through into the next round, and put a stake of claim to really be the winners of it. And this one's probably the most difficult. This is probably more difficult to predict who's going to win this than it was to predict the Group F from first to third. And I don't know. I just feel like because they've still got a few more years in the tank and they've got quite a good caliber of age in their squad, I've got the Belgians just ahead this. I think the Belgians go through just against Italy.
Yeah, I think we've upset Rich here. The stream has gone off the rails. Like I say, Rich, don't blame me. It's a democracy in here. It's Scott and Brad. You got to have a go.
It's not a democracy yet. You wait till you say Poland. I'm going to throw you off on that.
Tell you what, Rich, just get Rise. I never know this one, and just get Rise to come in. He'll put Brad in his place.
No. No,
you missed that, Scott. That was in another chat. It got a little bit heated, shall we say? He did actually, in fairness, Brad, just very quickly, he did actually message me afterwards and did apologise. I presume he did with you as well.
Yeah, he did, bless him. It was more at the fact that, to be fair, we was all talking above each other, and someone was going to lose it. And he did nothing wrong. He never said anything wrong. He wasn't abusive. Poor lad apologised more than anyone I've ever heard in my life. He was a great laugh. I've never ever had, and didn't even have an issue with him on that day. It was fantastic stream. It was
a case of it was banter, but it was Scott. It was very hot banter, shall we say? I think it was on the verge. It didn't quite go over. Rich, you hadn't thought it out, had you, Rich? You see, he had an even number of guests, so he kept getting draws for the voting. You see, up here for thinking, down there for pooing. Right, here we go. Facebook user says here we need the Leicester trio to come home with winners' medals. It'd be the icing on the cake this season, wouldn't it? But Scott, are they going to, or are you going to go for Italy and make me decide?
No, I'm going to go with Belgium, and I do believe in a game like this, Italy are going to be a lot more defensive. I can see them holding back and wanting Belgium to come on to them. And I just feel that Belgium's got, like I say, enough quality to be able to handle that sort of task and still power through.
Right, so we have got Belgium going through to the semis. You're really making this an easy decision, easy show for me, guys. I tell you what, I wish the other night had been as easy when I was picking the Leicester team. Now then, no, Scott. Oh, you're first again with England. France or England? Where are you going to go?
Do you go with your head or do you go with your heart? Is the question.
Well, it's your choice. It's your choice. And as I don't, I'm sure Brad will agree with you.
I'm going to go with England. I think that's going to be the upset of the tournament.
I think it would be an upset, but yes. Okay, so you've gone for England, flying the flag there. Scott, are you going to be as loyal, Brad?
No, I'm not, because I'm going to use my brain for this one and go with France. It's just so much knackered that France have. They could beat us 10 times over with their reserves, for Christ's sake. I'll take beating Spain and getting knocked out by France, because it's not going to go any other way. And if it does, I'll eat humble pie and do an apology video if we get France at any point in this competition to beat them, because France are unbelievable. I'm sorry, but Chris, you can have the decider, but I'm standing by what I say. If we get France and beat them, I'll do an apology video. That's
I'll hold you to that. You can eat your beard as well.
Oh no, come on! I'm not up for them daft challenges. An apology video is bad enough.
Well, I think you can shave your beard off, because by this rate it'll be down to your knees.
I need some shears. I need some shears by that point.
Can I just say, guys, the whole of these knockout games, you've agreed on every single one until it comes to France, England, and now you make me make the decision.
Want to make it interesting for you?
Yeah. You see, I'm very much like Scott. It is a head-heart decision with England. I am afraid, the heart, it does mean a lot for England, and I would love to see the fact that 2-3 years ago, was it, in the World Cup, that we've built on that. But it's France, I'm afraid. I can't see this current, and I'm not totally against Southgate, because I don't think there's a lot better out there, to be honest with you. And I'm not one of these that says, well, yeah, like I said at the start, we got through to the semi-finals, but look who we played. You can only play who's in front of you. But I'm not 100% impressed by the squad, and I think that's what does it for me. And I know there's no Leicester players in there, which for Leicester is great, because they'll come back next season. Well, there are Leicester players, but no English Leicester players. Those that were injured, unfortunately for them, haven't made it, but that hopefully means they'll obviously get more rest and they weren't being risked or anything like that. So I think, like I say, I just think he hasn't done well with his squad picking. Now then, the next one. Do you go for North Macedonia's victors, or it should have been North Macedonia there? It should have been North Macedonia. I can see them going all the way. I can see them going all the way.
What happens, Chris? You haven't heard what happens, because this is how I tactically plan this. See, what happens is Poland give North Macedonia the heartache, right? But then it turns out that Poland feel an ineligible player, and North Macedonia win in the quarterfinals because they get through that way. I love that to be the case. Could you imagine something like that? See, I always planned it. North Macedonia are still going through in this strong in the competition.
Now you are really, really, really smoking. I know,
I'm fishing so far out, I've hit North Macedonia. That's how far I'm fishing to get through.
Oh dear. Can I just say on a totally side thing here? Has anybody updated Windows recently? Because I suddenly started getting weather reports on my bar at the bottom. But the problem is that on one of them it says where I am is mostly sunny, and on the other one it says cloudy. So it can't agree. A bit like you two on that last game. So North Macedonia don't get a miracle, Scott, because Poland don't veiled an illegible player because he would have been found by now. So, who are you? Who did you go for in the end? Brad, I've completely turned off.
No, I tried to sneak. I tried to sneak North Macedonia back into it by some rules and regulations.
I didn't realise you hadn't actually said who was going through.
This one isn't too difficult for me. I know they've got Lewandowski and that, but it's just got to be Portugal. I think Portugal put these to the sword. I think this will be one of the more comfortable quarterfinals.
Yeah, Scott, the sensible one. Can I just say, you're not going mad, you're not going silly. You're an adult, basically. We'll do a separate children's one and get Brad presenting that. Feel like Rainbow. He should be zippy.
I'm a bit uneasy on this one. I think it's going to be a lot tighter than what Brad is probably suggesting. I think it's going to be. It'll definitely go into. I don't know. Did they do extra time now? Or is it just straight penalties?
That's a good question.
That's
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think we're so used to it that we haven't thought about it. Because
let's have a look. Euro.
I'd assume if they're fine with them playing challenge, traveling all over the pissing world for it, they'd be all right with extra time. But you never know, do you?
What happens if Euro 2020 playoffs are drawn? As the matches are being played as one-off ties, a win is required on the night. If Euro 2020 plays off, why can't they just say 21? Because it's what it is.
Yeah,
ends in a draw after 90 minutes. A 30-minute period of extra time will follow, and then penalty shootout. So
it's still got its usual format of extra time.
Yeah. So De Gea has just shit himself. Sorry, Rich. So
I'm gonna go Portugal on penalties.
Oh, very tight then. But you both go for. You're just going to leave me to make that one decision and knock my own team out, aren't you? Okay, Scott. Germany, Denmark.
I think this is just going to be a thrashing. Personally, I'm going to go Germany.
Wow.
Okay. No, right, Chris, get your thinking out on, mate, because the Danish just tend to do a shocker every now and then. And as Scott said about the Portugal-Poland game, I definitely don't think this is going to be a thrashing. I actually think, they came very close to knocking a few strong sides out. They've taken many a teams like Germany the distance, and Germany haven't shown up all the time in tournaments. And if they kind of limp through against the group and then they kind of limp through against Netherlands, they might exhaust themselves if their first round time goes the distance. And then I can see the Danish nicking this one. I'm going to go Denmark. That's my stance on it. I think Denmark.
Right. So, I'm just looking as you were saying then, because I had seemed to hear that. Bloody hell, how many games did Germany play? You've got UEFA Euro qualifiers, Google, Germany playing Australia. Let's come up. Let's come up to the I'm just looking at their latest games. They played a couple of friendlies. I mean, they beat Latvia 7-1 Germany, which is, but they did actually have a friendly last Wednesday, the 2nd of June, and against Denmark, and it was 1-1. And get ready, Brad. Are you ready? Are you poised?
I'm poised.
Are you a sprung spring ready to explode?
Yeah, go on.
In a World Cup qualifier group stage, Germany were in the same group as North Macedonia.
See, get them back in, Chris.
And at full time, it was Germany 1, and this was in Germany, North Macedonia 2.
Oh, we've got our winners, lads. Chris, edit the group. Take Paul.
Oh, too late, mate. Too late.
No, it's a farce. You didn't tell me these stats and facts beforehand. No,
I know, because you'd have had them winning the bloody thing. That's why.
I'm not eager to see something like that happen.
But also in the Nations League, do you remember the Nations? No, that was actually the World Cup qualifiers. Bloody hell. That was a World Cup qualifier.
See?
Mind you, it's just as bad. Just as bad, mate. Losing to North Macedonia. Bloody hell. No, they haven't got... Basically, at the end of the day, I'm coming down on the side of... Who do I go for? I'm just trying to build the tension up here. Do you know a bit? And this is where I need to do the X Factor bit and have like 4 cameras and they can all focus on me one at a time. And I'm just sat there thinking and drag it out. You know, it's not working, is it? We'll go Denmark. I'm afraid. Sorry, Scott, but I think Denmark. I think Germany and Lowe. It might be Lowe's last tournament, which is what made me think whether he was still there. But I can see. I just think this German side are running out of steam. Looking at some of their results, they drew 3-3 with in the Nations League in October last year with Switzerland, and they got beat 6-0 in the Nations League in November by Spain. So, and Daniel agrees with me. Daniel went for Denmark as well. Rich asks, how are Denmark still there?
Because they're better than Wales.
Daniel said they beat Wales. Sorry, Rich, you had to ask. So let's have a look. I think the next show that Rich does on his and his channel is Rich Sports on YouTube. Do go and catch it. He does a lot of non-Man United stuff, although he's a Man United fan. But you should introduce your next one in Welsh, mate. But, so we've got Belgium beating Italy, France beating England, Poland losing to Portugal, despite them maybe fielding with an unauthorised player in North Macedonia sneaking in, and Germany losing to Denmark. So we are through to the semis, and again, we'll be back after this, and this one's just for Mel.
Leicester Till I Die TV. The home of the FA Cup winners 2021.
Oh, and we have a Premier League trophy too.
Just in case anybody's forgotten, I just like a little reminder there. Why not, eh? Why not? So, are you going to tell me now, because I have absolutely no idea where I am and who's going first, but Belgium versus France in the semis. Who's to go first? Don't both jump out at once.
I'll take the prediction on the first semi-final then. I've kind of got to go with what I thought from the start of this tournament. I remember a Spain side winning back-to-back tournaments, and I've got a funny feeling that France are going to be one that does that. I think this has the potential to match up the game before with Belgium-Italy. It'll be an absolute stormer. People will probably be gutted it's not the final. But I think this is where the dark horse falls and the victor goes to France. I think France edged this one, and I think it's done within 90 minutes. I don't even think it goes extra time.
Wow. Scott.
I'm going to go with Belgium.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Hey, Scott. If you go for your option in the other semi-final, I'll go for the other one, and he has to decide that as well.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't put North Macedonia through now, Brad.
That's why you won't let me put him back in, otherwise I'd have backed up with him.
Seriously, I was actually, all joking aside, I was going to put them through. So you're going for Belgium, are you, Scott?
I am, yeah.
Right. Thanks, guys. You make it going for the easy ones yourself and agreeing. You go for the hard ones. You're making me have a decision. It is going to be a tough game, but then at this stage, it is the. Sorry, I did leave that because they beat Wales up there a long time, Rich. Oops. Phew. And it's not. It would be easy to say Belgium because they've got the 3 Leicester players in there, and I'd like to see them do well. France. I'm going to have to go. I honestly think it's going to be Belgium. Sorry, Brad, and that's not the Leicester connection. I just think that they will have too much in the tank for France. I think France will just fall at the last hurdle. Daniel's agreed with me with Belgium, but Ankit has gone for France. And Brad, they could have been playing North Macedonia, Brad, but it's not to be. So Scott starting this one.
I blame the Polish because I knew they were going to feel illegal players and get away with it. That's why I couldn't put North Macedonia through.
You're waiting for the appeal, aren't you? And the game to be replayed. And so, Scott, semi-final 2, Portugal, Denmark.
I'm going to go with Denmark.
Oh, do you think they can do Portugal?
I just think with what Brad was saying in reference to Germany, I think if that's the case, then I can definitely see them holding out and probably nicking it at the end, sort of thing, within the 90 minutes.
Brad,
you know what? You look at them 2 teams, and they're probably more evenly matched than you think, because they've both got great quality in the same area. This is going to be a case of which stars of the national sides turn up, and I don't know. This one's a difficult one. This one's probably more difficult than a lot of people think. If Portugal get caught napping and Denmark kind of find themselves in front, we know how good they can be defensively. Ooh, I'm tempted to join Scott on this one and go against what I said and say that Denmark make it. I have to agree with him. I think if I'm backing Denmark to seriously be contenders and beat Germany, I think Scott's kind of used that with me to make my own point and have them beat Portugal. So yeah, go on. We'll have the Danish in the final.
Right. Well, you both went for Denmark there. Had it gone to me, I would have gone for Portugal. But like I say, you go with your wise heads there. So we've got a final between Belgium and Denmark. I'm conscious of the time, and poor Scott's kids there are wanting his attention, quite understandably, and I'm holding him up here. But Denmark are the 25-1 outsiders to win it. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, they're the 10th favourite against Belgium, 6-1 third favourites. Although I don't know how they're not above England. So we'll come to you first of all, Scott, and then we can let you go.
This is quite obvious for me. I will go with Belgium for this.
Belgium, brilliant. Scott, like I say, thank you so much for joining us. I can hear that you've got your family in the background and etc. And if you need to go, please go. And I appreciate what you've done. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Chris. Cheers, Brad.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave now.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm sorry it went on so long, but thanks for doing it, Scott. Take care. Speak to you soon. Stay safe.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
I think it was only fair to let him go there.
Bless him.
I could hear his kids in the background.
His family in the background.
Yeah, I didn't think this was this. To be honest with you, I should have thought that this was going to go on a long time because we've made some very, very quick decisions. It's just I think the format of the show and the fact that we've gone through everything is actually is what's made it long. So we've got one for Belgium. Are you going to disagree, Brad? Surely not.
No, I can't. My instincts were that France will win it, and the way we've predicted this through, I think whoever we had to beat France in this, if they were going to get beat, which obviously you casted the deciding vote and put Belgium through, is going to go on and win the Euros. So either way, Leicester will technically be bringing home the trophy. It's just
Yeah.
it'd be more on the Belgian side of that. And I'm not picking it on that. Obviously, I genuinely think both squads are a pitch full of great quality that if they turn up, make it. But yeah, I couldn't personally look past France for winning this. Anyone else winning this tournament, and because of the way we've drawn it, Belgium are the ones that are knocking them out. I've got to back them to win it.
Fine, there we go. So Belgium are the winners, and I've got to be honest with you. And again, I'm not a betting man, but if I was and I had a five, or somebody gave me a five and said, "Go on, Chris, put a bet on,"
North
I would be
Macedonia.
putting it on Belgium. I've got to be honest with you.
No, North Macedonia.
Give me a 10 and I'll put a 5 on each then, just as an outside bet. Right, I'm going to save that, and we'll see how that comes to fruit. So, Belgium, it is beating an all Leicester final.
Yeah. You know, we're used to seeing us winning finals recently, so you know it might happen.
Yeah.
Who knows? They might come together and decide to share it just because.
Yes, they can show each other the medals, can't they? Anyway, you know. Ankit, thank you very much, sir, for your compliment. That is brilliant. Daniel, yeah, KGB will come knocking, Brad. They've been keep coming. They keep coming. And you've got a fan here, Brad. Brad was the star of the show. If only
I try to be.
If only for his understated North Macedonia celebrations. Really, yeah.
Honestly, I did try and predict this. I genuinely think they're going to get through their group. And I wanted to put them through against Poland, but I just thought, no, I've got to take it realistic. I think that's where their journey does end. But I'd love to have gone all the way, just stubbornly defending North Macedonia, because it's just brilliant seeing a team like that, isn't it? You know, I think
I seriously, had you gone for North Macedonia, and I'm just was it Poland where we knocked them out? Poland knocked them out. So Scott had gone for Poland. Had you gone for North Macedonia, I seriously, on my kids' lives, was going to go North Macedonia to cause an upset. That would have been as far as I would have taken them, to be honest.
Oh, yeah,
with
definitely.
You know, but you know, you had your chat. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to do it, and you didn't. I thought, oh, missed chance.
I know.
But,
if I'd have worked it out and seen that they got England in the next round, I'd have backed them to go through on that one as well. So, could have really
well, to be honest with you, when I started showing underneath, and it showed how you got to who was playing who, and I thought, if anybody's really clever, they can work out which way it's going. So if you notice, I actually stopped showing that after a couple of rounds. Brad, it's been great. We've got a record, 1 hour 52, our longest ever show, and we've still got people watching. You know, so
it's nice when it's a bit of fun like this, isn't it? Because we all have a laugh, but we all put the sensible head on when it comes to it. We've not made anything outlandish, but we've all made a fair assessment of the tournament.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I wasn't going to do anything Euro-based, but this, I think, is a bit of fun. I'm not going to sort of do England games and all that because it's just, to be honest with you, can't be asked. I'll go and watch them, but I don't want to talk about it like I do want to Leicester. If we get through to the final, though, maybe. Well, you never know. You never know. But we know that's not going to happen. But 1 hour 52, it's been great. Brad, thanks for sticking with us, mate.
It's been a pleasure, mate, as always.
And I hope you can get some medicine for those fits, because I was a bit worried about you a couple of times there. I thought your head was going to come off.
Can't quite go into cartoon mode at that point.
And we shall see you again on Tuesday.
Yes, you will. Yes, got something coming of interest to Leicester fans, and football fans in general. Chris will let you know more about it in the coming things. But we've got a Leicester City predictions league that I will be running alongside Chris. When Chris announces that, make sure you're subscribed and you got notifications turned on, because we are doing it in a league format, so there is a limited space available for you. It will be a scores predictions to do with Leicester's game weeks, week by week, and there'll be some bonuses. So if you're if you do decide to join in, don't get disheartened if you don't have a great week or two, because you might get the bonus right, and that might be worth more points. It's going to be something that's fun and enjoyable.
So keep your eyes out for that. That's coming up. And also on Tuesday, the show on Tuesdays, we're doing 7 Tuesdays and Thursdays mainly now. And we're trying to come up with some different ideas, because we haven't got the matches. So we're coming up with some different ideas. And if I can just look here, on Tuesday, we've got our own prediction show, when we're going to have 3 Leicester City people coming on. So we're going to have Brad, Matt, and myself, and hopefully, possibly, I'm not sure who the third one will be, but we're going to be predicting our top 4 basically, and in order, our bottom 3 in order, and if Leicester aren't in either of those, and hopefully they're not in the second, where you think Leicester will come. We're also going to have a Burnley fan coming on and giving his non-biased opinion, and I've invited a Man United fan on, so we will see. Rich, good idea. Thank you very much, sir. That's all going to be the actual prediction league for the Facebook and Twitter. It's all going to be Brad running it. So any problems, see Brad. I'll give his telephone number out at the end of the show. But we'll see you then, Brad. And then next Thursday, a week today, we've got another show. We've got the 5 most unpopular Leicester City players ever. So that's going to be interesting.
Oh, God, that will be interesting.
I can immediately think of 1 or 2. And tomorrow, at some point, it's not going to go out live, but I am actually going to be speaking to Ewan Roberts, the old Welshman, and I'm going to ask him if he actually did live in a council flat next to Julian Joachim, because these are the questions that we want to know.
The answers we demand as fans.
Yeah, so speaking to Ewan tomorrow, hopefully it works, because he's over in Bacau at the moment, so it'll be a bit of an international show. I'm going to thanks for Rich says do a 2-hour stream. I'm actually, if I can keep talking for 4 minutes, by the time I've done the intro, I think we'll hit the 2 hours today, Rich. I really do. Daniel, thanks very much. I just want to say a big thank you to our mods in this evening. Rich Sports there. I can say follow him on YouTube, Rich Sports. Daniel, our second mod, thank you very much. You'll have to tune in on Thursday and see Daniel, won't you? Miss Melina, thank you very much for joining us as a mod as well. I think she's probably gone back to work. I mean, they're 5 hours behind us in Canada, so what would that make it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I make it 4 o'clock. She's still got an hour and a half to work, bless her. And also thanks to Turf Moorehouses. Again, that channel, Turf Moorehouses, on YouTube. Burnley fan, but he mods for us as well. So thanks to them. Brad, it's been a pleasure, mate, as always. Do you want to give us one last cheer for North Macedonia before you go?
Oh, I always will. Yeah, let's give it to North Macedonia. Let's get
Hang on 1 second, Brad. Let's just do this. And I'll count you down. 5. I'm waiting for Thunderbirds now. 5, 4, 3, 2.
North Macedonia are going to win it. Get your bets on. You heard it here first. North Macedonia are going to wipe the floor of the tournament. Shock of the decade, shock of the century, you name it. You thought 5,000 to 1 was good odds. Well, listen to it. Get your bets in. North Macedonia to not just get out of the group, but they're going to win it. North Macedonia, come on.
I am going to cut that out afterwards. I'm going to edit that bit and save it and do it as a separate video. That is going to be one of my jingles. I'll tell you. Come on, North Macedonia. Brad, thanks very much, mate. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.
As always.
All the best, mate. Take care. Thanks to Brad. Thanks to Scott. Especially with Scott, he'd got his poor family going in the background. But we got a winner. It was Belgium, but we got a winner. Catch us, as I say, tomorrow night, in conversation with Leicester Till I Die. I'm not sure what time it will go live because I've got to do the editing because it is a pre-recorded show. We'll be talking to Ewan Roberts. Will he have his Welsh hat on? Tune in and see. That'll be tomorrow night. And then next Tuesday, we've got that prediction league. And Brad will give you some more information about the full prediction league. But on Tuesday, we'll be picking the top 4 and the bottom 3. Would you put Leicester in the top 4 next season? Come on Tuesday at 7 and let us know.
It didn't happen in 49, 61, 63 or 69 when they reached the final. But the class of 2021 have delivered. Leicester City are FA Cup winners at last and are history makers at Wembley.
Leicester Till I Die TV, home of the FA Cup winners.
We'll see you Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Thanks a lot for your support. Thanks for watching. Just please let me say, if you are watching on YouTube, we need your support. Please give us a subscribe. It would mean so much to us and it would really help us grow the channel. Thank you very much. For those that missed it, here's Brad and a friend doing his North Macedonia celebrations. There you go. Look at that. Brad, he shaved his beard off when he did that earlier, I tell you. Guys, thanks very much. See you on Tuesday. Stay safe. Have a good weekend. And enjoy the game if you're watching it on Sunday. Good night now.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all them social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over. It is now.
To an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share and get involved. Join us next time.